begins on the border of the airfield. The ground has a very thick layer of pine needles, must be almost a foot thick. Vegetation is about almost chest height, which basically walking will be done by machete. It's quite dense with small trees, large down trees too, but this path here has already been cleared by people, so we're following inside, but then again it's kind of a rough going. Slow down here, slow down, I just want to say. Very dense vegetation here. It alternates between visibility about 50 feet to 0 feet. Vehicle off the road with white monument with a previous GPS signal. Here there's a depression of about 7-8 meters. It might be the phosphate that they dug this. As you see, heavy large steel girders. Zooming down in to capture that area, and there are additional steel beams down there that might not be visible in the camera, and again the beams right here and here. The monument, this little path leads to slightly rolling terrain, very gently, probably 6 to 8 feet in height, with massive trees having been downed, and also with additional rocks boulders actually in addition to this end here, which may signify Japanese fortifications. Continuing for the path here, sometimes it becomes very rocky, but it also could be the same kind of terrain under the dense pine needles. And we'll notice here that there is tape at these coordinates, and this basically comes right on the beach. You'll notice that there's a lot of detritus, so a lot of people are frequenting this place. And here is a rise that leads to the beach, which may have formed the first line of Japanese defenses. This can only be an assumption. Here there is almost a perfect circular depression that borders all around. This could have been impact of a large naval rounds, and then basically the center has filled in through the decades that followed. Similar deep depressions are proceeding straight out. Triangular iron item with its coordinates, and basically the ground, this we're not sure, but it could be part of the original metal rail, but it looks very wide to be a narrow gauge railway. But this ground is completely saturated with metal fragments. The lower part of a depth charge. Depth giveaway is the cylindrical, almost 55-gallon shape, and also these are one of the two holes that additional boosters would go in under this coordinate. Okay, starting with large rusted items close to the sea mine. We'll notice here gigantic rusted girders, most of them half buried into the ground. Similar girders here now, which leads me, these are I think the large wagons that carried the phosphates into waiting ships outside. And you will notice this is the container that would hold the phosphates and different missing items. So filled with sand, but definitely this is the clear indication of these wagons. We found a similar one on top of them, close to the highest point of the island, where there was another phosphate extraction facility. Same setup, carrying the material for transport. A typical example of the heavy contamination of steel. So there are definitely munitions here, but the majority of the items seen here are parts of the original phosphate extraction facility. And basically I can keep walking, and this repeats throughout the beach line. Detritus facing the beach, same piece of rusted machinery, and under this graphic tree poised over this dry rock is this Japanese fighting positions, which seems to have borrowed materials from the phosphate factory and built his fighting positions. A search has been done here and in the past with Luke Atkinson, and nothing ERW wise has been found.